Blog Talk Radio.
And hello, welcome to Malignos Ritual Workshop on Radio Blog Talk Radio. I'm your host, Chris Blakk, and today is a good day. Thank you to my special guest, Hannah. My friend, thank you for coming on. Well, I'm saying that now, but she's going to call in. So I'm really happy because I'm trying to push my energy outward and forward and onward. They say to let go of the past. No, seriously, I think that at least have a conversation and talk about these things is very important. You know, I've been wanting to have a show like this. I know there's probably a lot of people that rather not talk about political things and stuff like that, but this is really important because, you know, I mean, you know, you see everything. You see that, you know, the way America is going. Everybody, it's obvious, you know. It's all around. It's happening. And there's the truth. And there's, you know, what's real. And, you know, in all honesty, I mean, let's be real here. You know, I didn't write this title or invent it, whatever, come up with this idea because I'm saying that, I know exactly what's going on. You know, this is like where everybody is saying what, you know, everybody for years thought they might have had ideas about, you know, what the truth was and where it come from and how everything, you know, happened to, you know, me, you know. A lot of us will stay stuck in a certain mindset and understand that the history of that is what the truth is. And so, you know, I shouldn't say, you know what I have to say? I have to give the existing people credit that are awakening. So back then there was more people that were asleep. Now, you know what it is? It's that there's. It's not so much that people are asleep; it's that people are choosing it, and that's what's I don't know. Whatever, you know. You could even say jumping on the bandwagon, but you know, it's the wrong people. You know, people that are filled with the things in their mind. You know, like what you see right now, like what you see happening. You know, the imperialists, the racists. You know, bigoted people. People think they're entitled, and people think that they're better or whatever. So we look at now, we look at history, we look at what's going on and what happened back then, and what we're told. You know, we grow up in America in a school system, and we know that from what we read in history, you know, it's a vision of an idea that's thrown into the minds of children to believe that black people came from slavery. And that's how, you know, this is why, you know, whatever. Even so it doesn't matter if it's bad or good or whatever, or whose fault it was. It's where that's the history of that, and that's not true. And so that's an obvious thing. People have been talking about that already, but that's not only what I wanted to talk about. I want to get in deep. Like the fact that I saw this picture of these black men, and they were in boats, and they had. It's funny, how you think about it. Like you look at football players, and you see people dressed in the guys dressed in their football pants, right? And you know what they look like now. You could see them. You could go online and see them. These men had these things on their shoulders that were so similar, and this thing is so ancient. And it's obvious, like it's not a real picture. It was an art, And the guy explained the art because it was kind of like, I don't want to say abstract. Like I don't want you to think it was like Picasso or something like that, but it was kind of funny looking. But the point that I'm trying to make was that these men were black, and they had the dressed like just imagine, like, remember the Tekken video game where the one dude that you could use, the character, he was like a Mayan soldier or something like that. But I think that is green or something, which goes into something else that I kind of had brought interest about the green skin. But I don't want to talk about that. I just want to say that, imagine that, like a dude like that, or even a skinny or medium size, whatever, and just with this skin like really dark, really black. And if you think about it, nobody ever said anything about that. Like, that's a point that's probably more opposite to Africa than any place. But then again, before the tectonic plates separated, I believe, I know this is still alleged information, but I kind of tend to draw my interest towards this information. Maybe it's the energy, maybe it's a chemical, maybe it's, I don't know, it feels good, that feels right, it doesn't feel like it's wrong. So, like when the tectonic plates separated, obviously you see all the lands today. You look on the map, you look on the globe, you see the Americas, and then you see Europe and Africa and all the surrounding countries. And before, and this is something of, how they say that Africa's not really the right size. Well, I'm going to tell you why it's funny that they say that, because, like, before the tectonic plates separated, before the platelet shift, if you have parts of lands, they break apart, and it kind of like, I don't want to say, it sounds weird to say consecutive, but like if they break apart in a certain way and they're all kind of like evened out, maybe some smaller, all those places are either going to return back to normal or they're going to separate, and it's going to go all over the place, right? But if you have a large piece of land, huge, and you have all this land and then all this water kind of like not necessarily surrounding it, because it might look that way, but it's evenly. It's like there's one side of land and one side of water. I know that sounds crazy. I'm just telling you the information. It's an idea, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, hey, I know this is just something that, that I saw, So all that land, right? And you have a large, huge, gigantic. Obviously, it's called a continent for a reason. So you have Africa, right? And all the land surrounding it. And there was just like, this is what I'm trying to say, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like they say, growing up, the band, the rap band, Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. And I was like, couldn't understand it. It was like so scary to me when I was a kid. And I was like, wait a minute. And what's so funny is that before the tectonic plates separated, the history of okay, I'll even say that. I don't care. I'll say it however it is right to say if you want me to be politically correct. The alleged information, which I don't think it's alleged, I think it's true, but that Pangea, and it was, and if that was the case, that would make more sense. That if all the people on this planet was, all the people on this planet was black, and it was called Pangea, but now you see the different places in Americas and the different places in here. It's so strange. How come the southern places are just like Africa, and all these other places have high places that are close to the North Pole? The North Pole leads me to another thing, the axis, because obviously the reason why now we have, seasons is because supposedly, Mars crashed. Supposedly Mars crashed, which is another problem I have with that. Crashes into Earth, all of a sudden the moon forms, and that's what Pleiadians took advantage of and used that moon against us with the idea and the stories of the Cabal, Christianity, Islam, religions like that. Those that are kind of like the same, astrology, it's a trap. We're free from that. It makes sense. It does. It aligns chemically, but it's for health, not for living off of it, which it might seem that way because I give that information out, sure, and it's constant and it's a lot, tons of wealth of information, but that's not my point. Is not to go, and we are the astrology, the occult, and we're together and we're brothers and sisters. No, no. Sorry, it's a great technology too, with information, and maybe a little things are mixed up, but for the purpose of using it, it does, for the good of it, it works. So just like anything else, you know what I mean? But so back to what I was saying. So if that's true, then it would make sense when you see everything you see. The south of every land, the south. What was it? The Nas video where they showed, he said something, I forget, in the show, in the video, Can't Stop Us Now, for the song, Can't Stop Us Now. He said, like, thinking about home, and then he says, matter of fact, we are home. And when he said that line in that song, matter of fact, we are home, you could see in the video how he connected South America right underneath that little, I call it the little, I know it sounds funny, but that little hug of Africa, like an arm, It's like the indentation where west side of Africa. And that is where Brazil is tucked in. Now I got a caller. Hold on. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Hannah. Thanks so much for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, so as you can hear, this is what I was talking about because, we were talking about before, how the reason why everything is the way it is and for what reasons, things that we know that you experience listening and finding out information and, deciding for ourselves what we think is true, what we think is not true,
Mhm. Yeah.
So like I always think like now.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. I was gonna say like we've just been misled for so many years. Not only just Black people but just society in general. We've been misled, and especially when it comes to people of color. We're starting to realize that everything was a lie, We're starting to realize that everything is a lie and that, history, the proof is in the pudding,
Right.
A lot of, unfortunately, a lot of our documents and things that shows proof of who we really were have been burned. And now, because of that, now people, I don't want to say the wrong people, but like people, the other people are in power because of it. They were able to, burn the documents, burn the proof, but fortunately,
and that's why we walk around. I was going to say that's why we walk around with these corporation last names and we think that they're our family, but really that's not our family name.
Yeah, that too. It's so much deeper than that, though. It's just it's much more
that's
deeper
crazy
than
in
that.
itself. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
They don't know that. They don't understand that their last name has nothing to do with their family. It's the fact that the corporation has ownership of that family.
Well, my last name, for instance, take my last name. My last name is British. My last name is from England. And I know that obviously it was a slave master that captured one of my ancestors from Africa, from West Africa, and they were force fed that name, and now I got that last name, down generations and bloodlines and all that stuff. But and it goes to also kind of show, and it happens with corporations these days too. It happens with these corporations these days too.
Hence the purpose Malcolm X's purpose of why his last name is X.
Right. But when you think about it, if you really, really kind of want to, if you really want to get like technical, we don't only if you're a person of color, you not only come from a royal bloodline of your people, but you kind of come from a royal bloodline of the people that unfortunately took over your family, and probably
See, that's the thing.
you have that bloodline too. Like
this is what I have a problem with. I have a problem with that because you're gonna tell me.
No, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we gotta accept it. You don't have to accept that.
Listen,
shit was done.
You're gonna tell me that some white dude came along and all these Africans were like, okay, I'll go with you.
Hell no. I'm not saying that.
There had to be something about it.
We know they were forced. We know they were forced.
No, that's exactly what I'm actually trying to say is that I don't believe that either. You gotta understand something. Back then, I don't care what nobody says.
Wait, you don't believe that? You don't believe that slaves were taken from Africa?
No, hell no. I don't believe that you're gonna have some European dude come over and go, come with me right now. They were like, get the fuck out of here. They fucking shot that motherfucker up in a heartbeat.
No, but my thing is this. they had guns. They had more powerful weapons. While people from in Africa,
So,
you know, we
okay,
talking
so
tribes.
now we have,
had spears
but
and
still,
knives.
I know, but I still have but I still have a problem with the fact that they had to listen. Africa is a motherfucking continent.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. You're going to tell me that every tribe had such beef with every tribe that nobody would fucking help nobody out? Are you kidding me?
I mean, but you got to consider this. That's why they only invaded one part of Africa. I mean, I don't want to say one part. But they took mainly people from one part.
I do not believe that they invaded Africa. Not in the heartbeat.
But honestly, when you think about it, what is there to believe? How do you know if,
I'm gonna tell you what I believe.
We weren't there to witness anything, so we don't even know what everything. No, you're right. No, I agree with you now because
this is what I think. I think they came.
We weren't there.
In the most. This is what I believe.
Theory.
This is what I believe. I believe that some Europeans came, but they were not like kidding. Are you fucking kidding? Listen to this idea. They did not go into Africa in any form of indignant or malicious, energetic movement. You understand that? No way.
So let me ask you this: what do you believe? What do you believe happened?
They came.
You don't believe slavery took place?
Nope. No, not that. Hold on. Let me tell you. I believe they came in the most. I believe they came in the most pious of ways, and they came so gently, so carefully. And we're like, thou greatest, oh greatest thou. I'm telling you. And they were like, we have these gifts for you. We have everything. And they were like, oh. And even still, Africans were like, hey, come with us. You know, no way. They were like, hold up, who are you? And they gave them all gifts and everything. And they gave all stuff. And so they were like, oh, okay, let's see. And they were like, we have this idea that you will be so much more wealthy, and if you just come with us and do this thing, you're going to be so great. And that's what I believe happened.
Oh, you believe that they were enticed. You believe that slaves were enticed.
Right. I don't believe.
You don't believe that they were forced.
I'm not saying that they were stupid either, or that they couldn't understand. But
right.
It was such an intense chemical experience and emotion to experience when you live there. You are one of those people, and you see this different people come along, and they're being so sweet and so nice, and they give you all these gifts, and you have everything. You're like, oh, this is so great. And they introduce you to things that perhaps maybe will not kill you right there, but it's not really meant for you.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and all the little things, and all the fucking. Because
I agree.
There's no way. Listen, I don't care what nobody says. You know what? Even this. Listen to this idea. What if what I said in my sarcasm about? I said, oh, what if every fucking body had so much beef with each other that nobody would help nobody? Listen, you want to hear something that's fucking not human nature? Even if it was so, and one neighbor was an enemy. You know what the truth about enemy and friends are? That they say they really love each other, because this is the truth. If an enemy saw another people attacking the people they're enemy with, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to go, oh, enemy of my enemy is my friend. No, I don't think so. They're going to be like, wait a minute, that's our enemy. You don't fucking attack our enemy. We can attack our enemy. So especially in a sense like that. So it all kind of like pushes that idea out that they were fucking Africans were overtaken and made slaves. No.
Right.
No.
I partially agree with you. Because you know what? Honestly, we have, the only evidence we all have is records of people being enslaved and being property.
I'm not saying that the rest.
No. But what I'm saying is I'm not.
I'm saying is the first part, like they're being overtaken. That I don't think that all those African men and women, that they were all not enslaved. I just don't think that they were first approached with, you know what I mean?
Right. No,
I don't think so.
What I'm saying is I don't
you know
disagree with what I'm saying is I don't disagree with you either, because like I said, I mean we to be honest with you, we all don't know what really happened. We just going based on evidence.
And
we all don't know what really happened.
Let's
you know?
say that
the only thing we can do is develop a theory. The only thing we can do is develop a theory of what happened. You know,
listen to
and
this.
I'll say
let's
what you have is a theory.
All right. Well, let's say this then too. Let's go back and let's change everything back to what the other side said. Let's say there is a history of all these ships with cannons, and Africa has no high technology. Okay, let's say this. I say, okay, it's bullshit, but if it's true, then motherfucker, it has to be some type of thing where they went back in history, because I'll tell you what right now, here's another thing. You heard of Atlantis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the story of Atlantis is that the reason why it's so great and because they said these Europeans had all this high technology.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think of the movie Tron, and then you think of back to Atlantis, and you look at everything, you're like, wait a minute. You know what? Why don't they tell the truth about the Africans and the Mayans? How very ancient, long time ago, the Africans and the Mayans had all that high technology, and they were riding around with those ships. Why do you think parts of Star Wars is kind of true? And they don't want to tell people that. They want to hide that. We didn't elevate in technology, the stupid little piece of shit technologies that we have as material, like entertainment things and electronics. That's not. Are you kidding? That ain't shit. That ain't shit. You know, listen. The idea of the highest technology is to bend light, and that happened the day that a caveman put his hand in the sunlight and said, "Oh, so please." Let's be real. You know, you see all the lies, and this is what you're talking about. And another thing too, the idea of public. I don't know how to say it. Maybe say the word peeping. the idea of surveillance and public observance and surveillance. You know, online and with your telephones being hacked, being watched, this or that. Who is it? Who's doing it? Oh my God, is it a hacker? Is it the government? What's going on? You know what? That's another thing. I'm not going to say it's not true. I'm just going to say bullshit that people would look at these things today like, oh my God, this is so new. This is high technology. This is new. That, first of all, they've been fucking listening to us, whoever they are, since they made up the fucking light bulb.
Of course. Oh, there's
so how are you going to say? Right, and then another thing too, like when they say when they talk about like, oh, look at this robot. Are you kidding me? They have androids walking around on this earth that look just like humans. You're going to tell me, oh, look at this robot. And those androids walking around a long time. You know why? You know why? Here's your fucking answer. Because fucking before even Imhotep was famous for being a doctor, they had men and women that had these minds that were doing that. They were creating robots with their technology. So get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Why don't they tell the truth about ancient fucking Africa? Why don't they tell the truth that's where it all came? That's the high technology. That's it right there. Why do you think they called that? See, it wasn't just and another thing why I understand about the tectonic plates before when I was saying that was because they all had technology like that. Every part of the world. But anyway, thank you for coming on, Hannah. I wish we had more time. I will definitely ask you to come back on. I know I was talking my head off, but I really appreciate it. And big up to everybody out there on the internet, Facebook, Google+, wherever you're at, Twitter, Instagram. Check us out, Blakk the World Inc., Mama Blood Entertainment, and this is Malignos Ritual Workshop, online radio, Blog Talk Radio. Thank you very much. Peace out.
All right. Bye-bye.
What gives a Happy Meal its smile? Is it the delicious 4-piece chicken McNuggets with no artificial colors or preservatives? The kid-sized fries? The apple slices? Or the low-fat milk? Maybe. But we think what gives a Happy Meal its smile is watching the whole family enjoying a meal. With a McDonald's Happy Meal, everyone enjoys together. Just $3 on the all-new $1, $2, $3 menu. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. What gives a Happy Meal its smile? Is it the delicious 4-piece chicken McNuggets with no artificial colors or preservatives? The kid-sized fries? The apple slices? Or the low-fat milk? Maybe. But we think what gives a Happy Meal its smile is watching the whole family enjoying a meal. With a McDonald's Happy Meal, everyone enjoys together. Just $3 on the all-new $1, $2, $3 menu. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.